Give me just a moment. Get up and going here. All right, good morning, Mr. Old School Trucker. Y'all give me a moment. We're gonna get situated and we'll get on the way here in just a moment. Y'all let me get some stuff up and going and we will get started. Y'all give me just one moment. I'm trying to get everything situated so we can go ahead and get started. I'm running a little bit behind, but we'll make it up. I'm trying to catch up on some stuff here on my Facebook page. Some stuff up and going. I can get it up and going here. Well, come on now. This thing is taking longer than it should be. Okay, open a new tab. Got that one going. And then let's get this next one up. Open a new tab. All right, there we go. We got it. All right, let's get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Got it. All right. Good morning, everybody. Let me check on my YouTube people. I think my YouTube people are doing just fine. But good morning. No one's actually logged into the online training yet on live online. This morning we have Gary Shaw on YouTube from Dallas, Texas. And we have the Old School Trucker. Good morning, Old School Trucker. Glad for you to join us this morning. All right. As you all noticed by the title, this is probably gonna upset some people today. But guess what? Do I care? No. Okay, y'all know me. y'all already know me. Y'all know I know what other people got to say and what they think, or it's neither here nor there when it comes to my thought process of what's going on in the real world. We deal with what the facts are. And like I said in the title today, we're gonna talk about freight broker training, because today this is part of the Brokerage Hour. But I'm going to make a huge announcement today. And that huge announcement is we will no longer be doing freight broker training. Okay. The RBBS Logistics Learning Centers will no longer be doing freight broker training for an online training course. Now, for our on-site training at our vocational school, yes, we still have freight broker agent training, but we will no longer be doing freight broker training. Now, what's the difference between freight broker agent training and freight broker training? Freight broker training is primarily meant for people who are trying to start their own brokerage firm, who want to become an actual broker. Freight broker agent training is for people who want to go work for a brokerage firm and they just want to kind of learn what the job entails, so that they can be proficient enough to get a job with a brokerage firm. Now, that's the difference. One is you're trying to learn how to become a broker yourself and actually broker freight, and with the credentials and the bonds and all that type of stuff, and you're trying to be competitive within the industry. The other one is freight broker agent training, which is basically just telling you showing you how to broker freight. That's all that's doing. It doesn't do anything to help you with being successful as a freight brokerage or being able to survive in this industry, this very competitive industry that we call freight brokerage. Okay. And there is a big difference. So we would no longer be doing freight broker training, but we still would be doing freight broker agent training. We still be training freight broker agents at our actual vocational school on site here in Tallahassee, Florida. Now we won't do an online freight broker training course anymore because, as I said, freight broker training is worthless. And you got a lot of freight broker training platforms out there. They're cropping up everywhere. I mean, they're popping up like flies, like roaches. Not mean to call people roaches, but well, some of them are about as useful as a roach. And I know that's hard. I know that's kind of rude to say, but it's true though. You got a lot of these freight broker trainers who are cropping up from everywhere, and they've never even ran a freight brokerage firm. Never. They've never ran a freight brokerage firm. Yeah, I said it. They have never ran a freight brokerage firm. Now, those of you who are freight brokers and have ran a freight brokerage firm and you have a freight broker training course, I'm not talking to you. So there's no need for you to get offense. Now, if you take offense, that means you're one of those ones who have never actually owned or ran a freight brokerage firm, period. There it is. It's out there. I said it. I'm not taking it back. All right. And there are a few out there that I know of who actually have ran their own freight brokerage firm. There are a lot of them out there. They know they've never ran a freight brokerage firm, but they're trying to teach you about freight brokerage. That's the problem. That is the problem. I'm going to give y'all some numbers here. TQL. Everybody recognizes them as probably one of the most predominant freight brokerage firms in the country. They're actually not the top. C.H. Robinson is still the top. TQL is about, I think they're number 2 or number 3. But TQL this year, let's do some research here. I'm not just gonna say this stuff. We're gonna look some stuff up here online. Let me start sharing my screen because I want to make sure y'all see some real stuff here. I don't want y'all to just kind of take my word for it. But let's start sharing my screen here for a second. We're gonna do some Google search here today. We're gonna go back to school. We're going back to school today, and we're gonna do some Google search. Now, today's broadcast is sponsored by RBBS LLC Corporate Consulting for freight brokerage startups, better talent, better culture, measurable results. Rebuild your business by building your people. That's us, okay? Mr. Darren Stevens and I, we started a consulting firm to basically do freight broker management. We're not doing freight broker training, but we are doing freight broker management. We actually come in and young freight brokerage firms, new freight brokerage firms, those of you who are less than 2 years old, you can contract us to manage your firm from anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Now, when we say manage, that's just what we mean. We're going to come in. We're going to evaluate your operational procedures. We're going to evaluate your compensation plan. We're going to evaluate your recruitment and your hiring practices and things of that nature. And then what we're going to do is we're going to really ramp everything up. We're going to make some changes. And the changes that we are going to make are going to help you get to a minimum of $2.5 to $5 million your first 2 years in revenue. By year 5 and 6, we're going to have you somewhere between $20 million and $40 million in yearly revenue. And by year 10, we're going to have you at a $500 million to $1 billion plus in yearly revenue. Now, I know some of y'all saying, that those numbers are too big. You can't do that. Well, if you think we can't do it, then you're right. You can't do it. Those of you who think we can do it, then you're right too. You can do it. So there's the old saying: if you think you can do something, you're absolutely right. You can, and if you think you can't do something, you're absolutely right. You can't. But all that is predicated on what you think, on what your mentality is. If you're the type of person who don't believe you can achieve big things, guess what? You're not going to achieve big things. You're absolutely right. If you think you can't make it, if you think you can't achieve big things, then guess what? You can't achieve big things. But if you think you can achieve big things, you can achieve great things. That's what works out every time. Hey, Darren, what's up, man? Glad you were able to join us.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. You got that situation worked out with the flat tire and stuff?
I was trying to figure out if the receiver have any air tank or anything where you can put some air and leave to a shop where it's much cheaper.
I hear you.
But
look, for those of you who are not in on the conversation, we just talking about the normal things that dispatchers have to put up with. Darren's got a very successful dispatch firm, and he's always busy. And I think one of his carriers today had a flat tire at the shipper, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Receiver.
Yeah, at the receiver. And you know how it is. When you first call up, they tell you it costs one thing $600-700. Then when it comes down to the real skin, it's like $1,300 to $1,500. right there.
Yeah. She said, "Oh well, just call back and see what we can work out." Nah.
Yeah. Hey, look, y'all. This is, when you're in business, you're gonna have these things that happen. This is just part of the industry, things that we deal with on a daily basis. But that means that we're busy. We're doing business. We're making things happen. So that's what you want to be. You want to be busy. You just want to be busy. You want to be busy. So, but if you're busy, you're making things happen. You're keeping people employed. People are making money. But as I was talking about, we were saying that freight broker training is worthless, and as a online training platform, we would no longer be doing freight broker training. Now, will we still do freight broker agent training at the vocational school? Yes, but there's a difference. Freight broker training is usually meant for people who are trying to start their own brokerage firm, want to become a broker, things of that nature. Freight broker agent is someone who just wants to know how to broker freight, okay? And they're trying to get a job with a freight brokerage firm. So they'll take some freight broker training course to get that certificate, or, just to show that they have some type of educational background. Y'all hold on. I got this guy trying to call me. Sorry, I can't talk now. Darren, give Brock a call. He's trying to call me.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Hudson is the owner of one of the freight broker firms that we're managing, and he's trying to give me a call this morning. So I'm in the middle of a broadcast. So Darren, you can give him a call just to see what he's got going on. All right. And let him know I'll be free in about an hour. Okay. All right. So Darren is off taking care of our client on this end of it. As we were saying, the RBBS LLC corporate consulting for freight broker startups, we are going to be working with freight brokerage firms and managing them. And when we come and take a look at your firm, the things that we're going to be looking for is, are you or do you have an aggressive recruiting strategy? Okay. And what we mean by aggressive recruiting strategy, we mean, are you looking to bring in 140 to 200 new employees every single 6 months. Every 6 months, 140 to 200 salespeople every 6 months. That's an aggressive recruitment strategy, because see, here's the thing. If you are going to do freight brokering, if you're going to be a freight brokerage firm, you either need to go big or go home. Okay, you really can't be a small freight brokerage firm. Those of you who have tried, and you all will recognize it, about 88.6% of all new freight brokerage firms are out of business within the first 3 years. That's a big failure rate. Now, why is that? Okay, because most people believe that you can jump on this side of the industry and stay small and still survive. You can just come in with just yourself, maybe you and 1 or 2 other people. We're gonna do some freight brokering. We're gonna make $500,000 a year, and we're gonna ride out. But guess what? You ain't gonna ride nowhere, because shippers don't work with small freight brokerage firm. If you ain't got no shippers, you ain't got no freight brokerage firm. If you ain't got no shippers, you ain't got no loads. If you ain't got no loads, you ain't making no money. You ain't got nothing to post on the load board. You ain't got nothing for drivers to come and pick up. Look, if you all think you can jump into this industry as a small freight brokerage firm and survive and stay small, no, you can't. You can get your bond. Yeah, you can go ahead and you can get your bond. You can get your insurance. You can get your authority. You can get your SAT code. You can get all the credentials you want. But that don't mean you're going to sign up for shippers, because shippers don't work with small freight brokerage firms. Shippers not going to work with you if they see you don't have the resources to move their freight. Shippers not going to work with you if you don't have the financials in place to survive within this industry, to be able to prepay for at least a certain percentage of the freight that they're going to give you ownership of. Shippers won't work with you if you don't have at least 5 or 6 references that's going to attest to the fact that you've done business with them for the past 6 months consecutively without a break, to the tune of $200,000 to $300,000 per month. Shippers do not work with these small, going nowhere freight brokerage firms. You have to be able to demonstrate to a shipper that your firm is scaling. You have scalability. You have a rapid growth plan in place. If you can't at least show them that and prove that, guess what? They ain't gonna work. They're not gonna waste their time with you. That's why most of you are going out of business, because you jump into this thing thinking you can take baby steps. Oh, I'm gonna get into it just a little bit, stick my toe in the water. I'm not gonna jump all the way in. I'm gonna jump into it just a little bit and get started, and then we just gonna muddle along for 2 or 3 years. No, you're gonna be out of business in 2 or 3 years. Because in this side of the industry, this is literally, I've said this before, this is the NBA of the freight industry. And if you're not willing to go big, just take your behind home, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting the shipper's time, you're wasting everybody's time. So if you're not willing to go big, and what I mean by big, I'm talking about within the first 6 months, you got yourself a sales force of at least 100 salespeople. I'm talking about 60 salespeople just calling shippers, another 50 salespeople just calling carriers, small trucking companies, large trucking companies, medium-sized trucking companies. You got that type of sales force just dialing for dollars. Because if you got that type of sales force, the shippers know that you got a large enough sales force that's going to get them enough carriers sign on with your firm, so that you can show them that you're able to move a good portion of their freight. You got to show carriers, large trucking companies, that you'll get these little one-man owner operators, 2, 3 trucks and stuff like that signed up. Yeah, that's fine. But in order for you to get these big trucking companies to sign on with you as a brokerage firm, like a Swift, a CR England, a Covenant, what's the other one? True something. Warner, JB Hudd, Snyder, these big companies, these big trucking, Knight Transportation, these big trucking companies. If you're gonna get them to sign on with you, guess what? You gotta show them that you are aggressive on getting shippers. that you are adding shippers every single day. Because they ain't gonna sign up with you if you ain't got enough freight for them to run. They might as well just stay looking on the load board. Why would they sign up with you when they just go to the load boards? Because you're not showing them anything. You're not showing them anything with you just one or two if you are working in a freight brokerage firm and and you ain't even got 3 shippers yet, 2 shippers, don't even have 1. So how are you gonna survive in the industry? You got to be willing to go all the way. You can't go all the way, just go back home. Plain and simple. Okay? Now, I'm going to show y'all some examples of what we're talking about. Let's go to Google. Let's Google TQL. I want y'all to see something here. This is why I say the industry supports large freight brokerage firms. All right, we're looking at the TQL profit forecast for 2022. Now, I don't believe TQL is even 10 years old. They came on the scene, I do believe, back in less than 10 years ago, I think. They may be 11 years old, but they're not much older than 10 years old. So as far as, industry-wide thinking, they're pretty new, okay? But they came in with the right type of mindset, with the right type of plan. They came in letting shippers know that they were scalable. They came in with an aggressive recruiting campaign. They came in with a hiring campaign like none other. I think TQL has approximately more than close to 2,000 salespeople right now. That's why they get so many shippers. That's why they have so many carriers signed up with them. Because they have a very, very, very aggressive hiring campaign and a very aggressive sales force. Okay. This is what made them competitive from the start. And you have to be this way to be competitive. So when you hit that 5th and 6th year, you're at that $20 to $40 million in revenue range. Then you are able to compete and be able to survive. But let's take a look at what they say about TQL and their market projections so far this year, their volume. I see I got a bunch of stuff here, but I'm looking for TQL. TQL's profit forecast, capital, here it is right here, market report, TQL. I don't want what TQL says. I want to get what somebody else says about TQL. Because people always boast themselves up. But I want y'all to see what their actual market forecast is. Let's see here. Oh, I'm not in Google. That's why. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get to Google. Let me go to Google. I kind of figured I was looking at something on Yahoo because it wasn't looking right. Okay. TQL. All right. Profit forecast. All right. See, you'll find the right stuff in Google. All right. All right. Y'all see this? Now, this shows y'all, we're going to look at a couple of different things here. We're going to look at how aggressive they are. And then we're going to look at the kind of money that they're making. First of all, let's take a look and see how aggressive TQL is. I want y'all to take a listen. I'm looking at this right here. This is from Total Quality Logistics commits to invest in an additional $78 million in the Cincinnati region. Now, this kind of shows you all just how aggressive this company is and how serious they are about their growth. TQL expects to add an additional 1,000 jobs, generating $60 million in new annual payroll. In 2021, TQL grew headcount by 49% from 5,500 employees in January of 2021 to 8,200 in December 2021. As of February 2022, the company has over 9,000 employees nationwide. Now, do y'all think what do y'all think these employees are doing? I mean, they've got over 9,000 employees. Do they need 9,000 people to do paperwork? to process loads, to send out, rate cons and BOLs, and do they 9,000 people to do that? No. I'm willing to bet you, I'm willing to guarantee you, I'm willing to bet you real hard money. Cash money. CASH. Cash money. I'm willing to bet you cash money that less than 500 of them 9,000 employees are for the administrative staff. The bulk of that 9,000 employees are salespeople, dialing for dollars, calling shippers, calling trucking companies, getting shippers onboarded with TQL, getting trucking companies onboarded with TQL. That's the mentality you got to have if you're going to compete as a broker. There are no small brokers after 3-4 years. If you are not turning 40 million plus in revenue by the time you hit your 5th year as a broker, you are a broker just waiting to go out of business. Plain and simple. You are a broker waiting to go out of business. So for those of you who have jumped into this industry because you heard some freight broker trainer who ain't never managed a freight broker's firm, who ain't never owned a freight broker's firm, who probably ain't never broke a freight a day in their life, they told you, just get your bond, get your insurance, get your authority, go and get your SAT code, and you good to go. Oh, you can do it just by yourself. You don't need to have a big firm. No, you don't need that. You can do it by yourself. Well, you got sucker. You got sucker. That's why a lot of you all right now have had your bond for 6-7 months and you ain't signed up one shipper yet. And you can't figure out, I'm calling up all these shippers. Nobody want to sign up with me. Because you ain't showing them nothing. What you showing them? You got you and your mama inside the firm? But that ain't gonna help. You need more than just you and your mama. You really do. Come on, people. We're talking about the NBA of the freight industry. You don't just walk up to the NBA to a pro team and say, hey, I want to play guard. You ain't never picked up a basketball? I've been playing in my backyard, man. I play high school basketball. I got this. No, you don't got this. Okay? You got to be less than the top 1% in the world to play for the NBA. That's what freight brokering is in this part of the industry. If you're not willing to go big, go home. Seriously. Because see, TQL came onto the scene, and they came onto the scene with the intentions of going big. And they let the world know that they was going big because they had a very aggressive recruiting and hiring campaign. They brought in, you see it right there. They got more than 9,000 employees. More than 9, that's 9,000 employees. Now, what does that type of aggressive sales force brings them? Well, let's take a look at it. Let's go back and let's look at what kind of money that is bringing in for TQL. Let's see here. TQL, they're from Forbes magazine. Forbes magazine is reporting. Let's see what Forbes is reporting about TQL. Forbes magazine is reporting about total quality logistics. Let's see here, the supply chain, customers and carriers turn their dailies. Okay, I want to get down to the money. Let's get down to the money. What kind of money they're turning? All right, in 2021, they turned in revenue $4.1 billion. There it is right there in 2021. TQL, Total Quality Logistics Financial Summary. The year 2021, they generated 4.1 billion. Billion with a B. Now, you think it's a coincidence that they have 9,000 employees, probably close to 7,000 salespeople? You think that might be a reason why they turned $4.1 billion in revenue in 2021. Now, let's see what their projected is. I already know what their projected is for 2022. But I want to see if I can find it in writing here, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just making stuff up. Y'all know me, I don't like that. I don't want y'all to think I'm just making stuff up here. Let's go back and see if we can find what their 2022 is, what they're doing for 2022. That's what we need to find out. We need to find out what they are doing for 2022. Now, we already know last year they made $4.1 billion, and that was during the pandemic. Oh my God. You mean to tell me a company made $4.1 billion during the pandemic when everybody else was shutting down and going out of business and struggling to keep the doors open? And they did $4.1 billion? How'd they do that? They're aggressive. Go big or go home. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. Let's see if we can find them, see what their growth is for 2022. Let's see what we can do here. Full truckload, market reach. For 2022, I'm trying to find their forecast for 2022. Freight transfer, brokerage growth, industry share. Nope. Come on, man. Somebody show me TQL's. That's working at total quality logistics. I don't want to see that. Freight brokerage market share. I want to see their forecast. Revenue forecasting, projected profit projections, projection hub. Does that have TQL in there? Okay, all right, here's one that says TQL became, all right, I think this is what I'm looking for right here. I think this is what I'm looking for. All right, let me show y'all this right here. I think this is what I'm looking for. How TQL became a nearly $8 billion company. Well, I'm telling y'all how they did it. They got aggressive. They did not want to stay small. But let's go through here and see what they got to say about TQL, or just one of these clickbaits. Looks like this is a clickbait. They're gonna want me to do this stuff and click on this and subscribe to this and subscribe to that just to get it. Yeah, that's like one of those clickbaits. Okay. Continue reading with your subscription. Oh, I hate that. They want me to pay $4 to read this. Okay, well, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna pay $4 to read that. Every other month. Let's go here. Annual total report. Let's do this one right here. See if we can find that here. We're not gonna pay just to read what their projections are for this year. See if I can find this in here in some of this fine print. I mean, I already know what the numbers are, but I want you all to see it for yourselves. I don't want to just say it and then you're like, Calvin, you're not being for real. But I'm gonna find it here. It's in here amongst all this this stuff. All right, now these are all these billion-dollar brokers from y'all to you. Brokerage, market size and forecast: C.H. Robinson, Expeditors, Landstar System, TQL, Coyote Logistics, XPO, Jensen Logistics, Echo Global, JB Hunt Transport, Worldwide Express. Now these are all these billionaires now. When it comes to brokerage, now I'm gonna show y'all if we can find it here. If they're showing what their projected revenue is for. Okay, details 2022, estimated year by region. Looks like they still want me to pay to get this stuff, but I'm trying to find it for you all. Looks like y'all have to take my word for it, because I can't seem to. Nobody seems wants to share the numbers now anymore. About a month ago, this was all over the place, but now it seems like it's hard to find. Yeah, it's not Let's try one more place here. Let's try to see if we can find another one. Here's CQ. Now here's TQL's first quarter projections, first quarter results. That's C.H. Robinson's. Let me pull up theirs and see what their first quarter results were. 2022 first quarter results. Okay. Gross profits increased 29.1% to 900.5 million. Adjusted gross profits, blase. Where's the actual GPA? Now that's after, that's not revenue. That's just gross profit. Here we go. Total revenues increased. All right. Here we go. All right. Summary of first quarter results compared to the first quarter of 2021. Total revenues increased 41.9% to $6.8 billion. Now that's in the first quarter, y'all. There are 4 quarters. In the first quarter, their revenue was $6.8 billion, driven primarily by both higher pricing and higher volume across most of our services. Now, that's their gross revenue. Now, their gross profits, 29.1% to $905 million in their first quarter. That's almost $1 billion in the first quarter on profits. We're not talking about gross revenue. Gross revenue was $6.8 billion. Gross profit is after them paying everybody and get all this paying everything, paying all the, everything they got to pay out. They still walked away with over $900 million in the first quarter. Okay. So when I tell you all, this industry is the top 1 percentile of revenue producers and profit margins when it comes to the freight industry, brokering is the top. You don't just jump into this side of the game and think you're going to survive by doing, a couple $100,000 a year. If you're not willing to go big, you might as well go home. Okay? You just might as well go home. All right. So that's what they were looking at in the first quarter, $4.1 billion. So you can take that and look at, 4 quarters, 4 times 4, then you got it. They're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of more than $16, $18 billion. Now, that is C.H. Robinson. TQL was looking at, they're on track to do this year, since I can't seem to find it. They're on track to do about anywhere from $11 to $13 billion. Okay, that's what they're on track to do. By June of this past year, they was already sitting on 6.6 billion. That's what they were sitting on back in June. I know this because I looked all this stuff up a couple of months ago. I was able to find all this stuff, but now, it seems like it's hard to find. But there you all see what I'm talking about. And they're not the only ones. You got other brokerage firms, all the other brokerage firms out there doing, $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion, 700 million, 800 million, 900 million, 500 million, 300 million, 100 million, 80 million, 90 million. When you get down to like the $20 million range, a brokerage firm that's been in business for 4 or 5 years, there are no brokerage firms under the $40 to $30 million range. There are none that have been in business for at least 4 or 5 years. Because the ones that survive, they recognize that they have to go big. So you all thinking that because you took a freight broker training course, you can jump into this side of the business, become a freight broker, and think you're going to survive. Well, that's why most of you right now, just got started in this industry. You got your bond, you got your insurance, all that stuff. You're calling up shippers, and ain't nobody signing up. And you wonder why. You're wondering why. Because you're not aggressive enough. You're not aggressive enough. Now, you also saw that those firms are making a lot of revenue, but they're spending a lot of money when it comes to their operations. So that's the other reason why you can't survive. You don't have the type of resources that they have to be able to just throw money at a problem and solve it. See, they can do that because they've gotten to the point to where they got all this money coming in, so they can spend a lot of money. They can afford to pay their freight broker agents, which they probably got 3,000 of them. Okay, freight broker agents, that's it. That 9,000 sales, that 9,000 employees they got, I'm willing to bet you about 3,000 to 4,000 of are freight broker agents. That's what it is. 3,000 to 4,000 of them are freight broker agents. That's why they're so successful. But they're paying their agents somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70% of the broker's fee. Well, you as a small firm, you can't afford to do that. You ain't got that kind of money. You don't have them kind of resources. Why? Because you weren't aggressive enough in bringing in your salespeople. And do you have a compensation package that's going to attract salespeople? See, these are all the fine point things that you all are not thinking about when you're thinking about jumping in and starting your own freight brokerage firm. Okay, this is not dispatching. Yeah, it's fairly simple to start a dispatch firm, scale your business, make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. You can do that in dispatching and do that for the next 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But you can't do that in freight brokerage. No. It's too big of an industry. You got too many giants in this industry. Now, is that saying that you cannot make it as a freight brokerage firm? You can if you have taken the time to sit down and work out a strategic business model that allows you to scale your business while keeping your costs down and not adding extra costs and resources along the way. Calvin, what did you just say? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not going to divulge our trade secrets and how we do this stuff, but we have come up with those strategies that allows you to be aggressive on your recruiting and your hiring. Okay, because when we come into your freight brokerage firm, when you hire us to manage your freight brokerage firm, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go on an aggressive recruitment campaign, and we're going to get you somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 200 salespeople within the first 6 to 8 months. That's right, salespeople. And their only job is to call shippers and to call carriers and get the shippers on board and get the carriers on board. Because if you get the shippers on board, you're going to get loads. If you get loads, you're going to post them to the load boards. If you post a load to the load board, you're going to get carriers to run them. If you got another group of salespeople down there who are just doing them by calling up carriers, signing up carriers with 1 truck, signing up carriers with 2,700 trucks, kind of just signing up carriers, then you're going to have enough carriers who are going to automatically just be coming to your in-house freight and not going to load boards and just running your freight. If you got that going on, then shippers, you tell the shippers, let the shippers know that, hey, I got carriers who run in-house freight. So therefore the shippers say, well, you got carriers running in-house freight, you better sign up with you. See how much sense that makes? Y'all see how much sense that makes? That's what it takes. It's not as simple as getting my bond, getting my insurance, getting my authority. I'm gonna go call me some shippers. I'm gonna sign up these shippers. I'm gonna post them on the load boards. I'm gonna make me $300,000-$400,000 this year. No, you ain't. You're gonna spend so much money. You're gonna go home broke and mad, upset, and angry because you were not aggressive enough. All right, let's hear from some of our people over here on YouTube right now. We got the old school trucker. Good morning. Good morning from Dallas. From Gary Shaw. James Sears, good morning, bro. It's all about truth. Man, don't you know it? Good morning from Compton. Woo, California. All right, that's Chris Gibson out there bumping that. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. We've got old school trucker says facts. Look. look, look, look. I know this is kind of deep for a lot of you all today out there listening. You all probably saying, man, what is Calvin talking about? He just going deep. That's right, baby. I'm going deep. I'm going deep. That's right. I'm going deep today because that's what freight broking is. Okay, freight broking is not just this little side hustle that a lot of y'all think it is. You all have misinterpreted and and just underestimated the complexities and the gravity of this thing called freight brokers. And if you think you can just jump right in and just do this thing without understanding, how to scale your business, what it's going to take to be successful out the gate, how you're going to compete, how am I going to pay my people and still retain enough of my brokerage fee to be able to stay profitable? Well, we figured that out. That's what we have figured out with the RBBS LLC Corporate Consulting. Okay, we put together several strategies that we actually came up with, that we put together that makes this happen off the bat. Okay, now I can't get into showing you all and telling you all exactly what that is. If you want to know what it is, if you have a freight brokerage firm, now, first of all, if you want to contract with us to manage your freight brokerage firm, you have to be a freight brokerage firm. Don't call us and say, well, I haven't gotten my bond yet, but I want y'all to know, well, we're not going to manage you. We're not going to do no contract. We're not going to discuss anything with you until you get your bond, you got your insurance, you got your authority, you got your SAC codes, you got all the stuff you need on paper to be a freight brokerage firm. Now, once you've made that commitment, then we will make a 10-year commitment to you to get you to $2.5 to $5 million in your first 2 years. By year 5 and 6, we get you to 40 to 20 to $40 million in yearly revenue, and by year 10, you'll be at $500 million to $1 billion plus in yearly revenue. And guess what? If you do a 10-year contract with us, you don't pay us nothing up front. That's just how confident we are. That's right. Because with the strategies that we have, there's no way you can't hit those goals. I know you all probably say, well, why are you so confident? Because we put together the strategies. I know they work. We worked them. Okay. I used them with my freight brokerage firm when I first came into the industry. First year, $7.6 million. So I know it works. Okay. It's like going into a card game and you done stack the deck. So that's all we're doing. We are stacking the deck in your favor with the strategy that we put together and that we employ. Now, those strategies, those are part of our trade secrets and part of our intellectual property. So therefore, if you want to learn any of those strategies or be privy to any of those strategies, you got to sign what? An NDNC, non-disclosure, non-compete form. Okay. As of right now, we have 2 brokerage firms under contract. They both contracted with us for 10 years. We are currently hiring, and there's that aggressive recruitment campaign that we talk about. We are currently right now hiring for both those brokerage firms. And the positions that we are hiring for is freight booking agent, okay? Job description, okay? This is a remote position. No one's gonna be looking over your shoulder. You work from home or your own satellite office or however you want to put it. But your first year earning potential is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $120,000 to $195,000. Now, to be honest with you, that's a low ball. I'm just being honest with you. That's a low ball figure right there. I'm dead serious. That's a low. So they are with a federally bonded freight brokerage firm whose goal is to serve as an intermediary between shipper who needs, my connection is, get out of the way so I can see, between the shipper who move their cargo and carriers, trucking companies that has to do so. As a freight booking agent, notice you're not a freight broker agent. As a freight booking agent, you will be required carriers, trucking companies, and deliver freight acquired by the brokerage firm. All leads provided by corporate. Okay. Apply or forward your resume to, you can forward your resume at RBBSLLC.org. Again, if you want this position, forward your resumes to at RBBSLLC.org. Now, that we are bringing on is going to be this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. It will be this same via Zoom link only for the people who have signed and sent back in their non-disclosure, non-compete form. Okay? So when you send your resume in, we're going to call you, kind of go over your resume, see what your qualifications are, kind of make sure you understand what the position is and how it pays. We'll go over exactly how it pays and everything. And trust me, when you hear how it pays, you're going to say to yourself, oh, so that 120 to 195,000, that was a low ball. Yeah, that's a low ball. Now, hear me when I tell you this. These two positions that we are, these two positions are legitimate paths. They are legitimate paths to 7 figures a year. Now, I know some of y'all, your mind can't wrap around that. But you got to do something, your night breaking work, you work in an accident, having dogs chase, people getting upset, not putting the right. Y'all have been conditioned because you're getting a little check every week. Woo! I'm so glad I broke that condition about 10 years ago. Okay, I haven't worked at JOB now in about 10 years. And I convincing them to think the way I do about a certain service, and then getting them signed up, and then I have money. All sales is, y'all. But the condition to think, well, that selling thing comfortable. How much more comfortable can I be? I'm sitting out in my yard in my gazebo, nice cool breeze, talking on a hill on YouTube. I mean, I don't do much more than this. To be honest with you, I don't do much more than this is what I do for a living. I call up shippers. I talk to them. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, we have to sign up with your brokerage firm. They sign up. They send loads over, post loads forward. We call up carriers. Oh yeah, Mr. Butler, man, you got them kind of loads coming in there. We'd be happy to go ahead and sign up for you and move your freight. And I'm my bank account doing the same thing. Now that's comfortable. That's comfortable. Now, what I used to be a farm carpenter. Go out there and in Florida and Georgia, here in now North Florida, right? South Georgia, construction company. I was a farm carpenter. In the summertime, 110 degrees. I mean, when you first start out, you all think farm carpenter, you think you're working with wood all the time. When you first start out, there's such things called groundbreaking. Farmers have to dig the trenches to put the steel and the foundation of our child. So when you're doing groundbreaking, yeah, they got these Caterpillar and stuff, but it can't be that precise. So you got to get out there with what? A pick, a shovel, and a hoe. In 110-degree weather, fellas, people. I'm talking about guys falling out, life flight coming in, picking them up, taking them off, and before life flight can even get up good, a couple more guys fall out. Life turn back around, come back and pick them up. But y'all have been conditioned to think that's cool. And you're doing that for what? 16, 17, 18, $20 an hour, $25 an hour? That ain't no money. That ain't no money. Not compared to what we do in sales, not compared to what dispatch who got what at least 5 trucks as a dispatcher. A dispatcher 5 carries that dispatch can earn a minimum of $170,000 a year just off them 5 trucks. We're not talking about what brokers make. I mean, decent broker can do $10,000 a day. But the sales thing is not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with sales. I'm not comfortable with people on the phone. I'm not comfortable with trying to test people to see things my way. But you're more comfortable with putting up with all that BS on these other quote unquote JOBs that's paying you an hourly salary. That's comfortable, right? How comfortable y'all feel when it's time to pay your bills? I bet you ain't comfortable when that happens. When it's time to pay them bills, how comfortable are you then? See, I'm real comfortable. I don't worry about my bills. They pay. Usually on one sale. All my bills are usually one sale every month. And let's not talk about residual pay. Oh, okay, that's another whole story. Which is what these positions, residuals. Do the job once, you keep getting paid on it. Woo, boy. I just over a whole lot of people's head. Look, people, this side of the industry, new ball game. It truly is. Okay, it truly is, and you all really need to, I mean, look, if you're not comfortable with sales, I mean, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing that. Okay, because that's what you think is comfortable, and right. But if y'all seriously want to be comfortable in how you live and want to have worry free when it comes to how you're going to pay your bills and all this other stuff, you need to change what you're doing. Okay. Start working in those areas that you feel are uncomfortable, because those areas are going to provide for you a very comfortable lifestyle. All right. And this is one of them, freight booking agent. The other one is freight acquisitions executive. That's the other position. And that position, freight acquisitions executive job details, contract, it is remote position, $140,000 to $265,000. You'll be shipped their freight. All these provided for your to training at LLC. On you. My internet keeps popping in and out. Send your resume in and indicate which position you are applying for. Okay, there it is. I just popped that email address there for those of you who are interested. Go ahead and send that over. Okay, out here in my gazebo, I've got the booster on. Anyway, as I was saying, with the positions, where you send your resume. The email address I just put in is where you send your resume. Okay, so go ahead and shoot your resumes over, and we'll evaluate those and get you all ready for the orientation that's going to take place this Tuesday night. Now, but keep popping in and out. He's popping in and out. He's popping in and out. I don't know why it's doing that. Right here by my booster, my internet booster. So it should have a speed, but for some reason it keeps dropping and picking back up, dropping. You all are not, you all don't have to do any paperwork. You don't have to do any onboarding. You don't have to do any rate cons. You don't have to do any BOLs. You don't have to process any carriers to agree to onboard with the brokerage firm. Look, um, I'm having problems with this internet, so we're going to go ahead and probably cut this short because all right, as I was saying, even if you are a brokerage firm and you're as old as 3 years old and you haven't been getting shippers signed up and you can't seem to advance your brokerage firm, you might want to give us a call. And give me a call at 866-973-6445 and look into contracting us as a management firm, and we will assign a very capable and very knowledgeable consultant to your firm to get you on track and to get you to making money. Okay. We will do that. We will help you scale your business. We will aggressively hire, and train your people. 10-year contract, hopefully you all got back on. If you're doing a 10-year contract, there is no upfront fee. There is no retainer. We just collect 6.5% of the broker's fee for the 10 years that we are managing your firm. As for all of the problems with Zoom, right now my Zoom is just acting just real haywire. So we're gonna have to call it a day. Look, y'all know me. I like to come on here and talk to you all, but when my system starts acting up, that's the sign that I need to get off. All right. Hopefully I'll hear from you all. Hopefully we can create some great careers, get some brokerage firms back on track. All right. If you're a brokerage firm, you need our help, contact us. If you're looking for a great career as a corporate salesperson, send those resumes in. Y'all have a good day. Bye, everybody.